That guy captaining the cat that's just left behind us is a 2 times Olympic team member for the Estonia Olympic team. Nice guy called Sven, and he's going the same place as we are today. He may not know it, but there's a race on.
Morning, Michael.
Morning, sir.
Look at you being all healthy.
Greek yogurt in Greece.
I'm having sugar and chocolate.
Okay, Barry, stop that spring.
Well, that was a bit of a wild ride exiting Astipalaia, and now we're out here. We've got 17 knots of apparent wind, which is handleable. The swell is fairly big, but now we're under sail and working with the ocean. The boat motion has relatively calmed down, but why it was so bad in there was because, first of all, we were headed straight into the swell, and the ocean comes in from depths of 200, 300, 400 meters of depth into that bay, where it suddenly narrows down and shallows down to 60 meters, 50 meters, 40 meters, and all that water getting blown in by the wind has to build big waves as the depth gets shallower. So that's why we had such a soaking. Luckily, we've checked the boat and everything is still good. All the cameras are still good, and we're on our way to Nisyros. Yeah. Oh, and she's got a soggy bandage.
Wet paw.
And that little triangle I just pointed to is the catamaran that left before us, that we're in the race with, but don't tell anyone.
He's winning now.
Yeah, he's not there yet, is he? He could get dismasted, rolled over, anything could happen.
But you don't wish that on him.
No, I don't wish that on him because he's a nice guy. But the race isn't finished until it's over.
Okay. I love that Sagittarian enthusiasm.
We could win this.
We could.
I don't care if he's an Olympic champion. We could win this.
So it's 3:30 in the afternoon and we've just arrived at Nisyros. The journey itself was really quite pleasant. It was about 7 hours long, and we had about 20 knots of wind for a lot of the time. Getting out of the channel from where we were last night was really tricky, but you will have seen that already. But the rest of the journey was great, and we had the head sail out. We sailed pretty much all of the way, averaging about 6 knots. So we were really happy with that. So we're in, and we're now sitting down having a nice glass of wine and a beer before we do some work, so that you can get to see the next episode. It's the 10th of October today, and it's a lovely, calm, sunny day in the Dodecanese Islands in Greece. We left Nisyros at about 10 o'clock this morning, and we're headed for Symi, which is where we're going to find an anchorage for tonight, and then tomorrow we're going to go into the main town in Symi so that we can check out of Greece, and then head over to Turkey to check into Turkey.
Okay, drop it. Alright, I'm going to test it.
Ansha's dodgy arm means, of course, that I don't get my hair cut, so I'm having a bit of a Don King moment. And if you don't know who Don King is, just Google it. You'll see what I mean. I'm Don King. We are anchored up here on the island of Symi in the southwest corner in a little bay, and this is drop dead gorgeous. It's just, I would imagine in the summer it's a nightmare with lots of charter boats and day tripper boats and lots of toing and froing with the ferries. One's just come in now, but right now, out of season, there's just us, 2 other yachts and a catamaran.
Yeah, and the monastery just in front of us.
So we're bedding down here for tonight before we nip up north to Symi's main town.
Yep.
And then we'll be checking out of Greece.
Yeah.
We have to take the flag down.
Oh, and get a Turkish flag
And
up.
get the Turkish flag up.
And Turkish delight when we get there.
Proper Turkish delight, yeah. So yeah, this place is just absolutely
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's very, very tranquil, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. The following morning, we lifted the anchor and made our way north to the old town of Symi so that we could check out of Greece. at Symi at the moment, and we're just checking out of Greece. We're both tied to the customs dock, and only certain people are actually allowed to get off the boat to take the papers. So it's all quite interesting.
So behind me you can see the main town on the Greek island of Symi. We've just checked out. We went to the port police where they looked at our passports and our crew list. Then we went all the way across to the other side. We had to walk across, just the captains of the boat, walk across to the other side of the port area to check out with kind of like Coast Guard, if you like, where they check your insurance documents and they check your boat registration papers. Now we've got about a 2.5 hour trip further east to check into Turkey. We've already sent some of our documents ahead via electronic means to an agent who's going to help us check into Turkey. So it was very simple for us with the DECPA. It took about, I don't know, it took longer for them to check the passports and the crew list than it did to check the insurance papers and the boat papers. But all in all, I think the whole process probably took, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes with a 20-minute walk between the two offices as well. So that's it. We're out of Greece and technically also out of Europe once we cross over into Turkish waters. So we'll let you know what happens when we get on the other side of the water here. Join us next week on Sailing ABC as we cross the maritime border between Greece and Turkey, and we're greeted at the harbour of Bosborough by our shipping agent with all the paperwork ready to check into Turkey. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a thumbs up and remember to click on the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any future episodes of Sailing ABC. Thanks for watching and take it easy.